Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fans of Skytear. This is the Commander reporting for duty. Alongside me this evening is the man with the voice of an angel and the ruthlessness of a devil, Ian. Ian, thank you for joining me.
That is quite the introduction. You need to tell Tim to step it up in his introductions. That's way better.
I will endeavor to do my best. Tonight, we are going to bring you the semifinal match, round number 2, between Clinton and Mikhael. This is for the October World Qualifier Championship Series here. The winner will go on to the final match, the loser into the third place match. We won't tell you who between the other semifinalists they're playing in case you haven't had a chance to watch that episode, but the episode was streamed earlier today featuring Ian as well as Eric. So the winner here will play one of them, the loser will play the other of them.
Yeah, I definitely want to go check it out. It was a fun game. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the action here. Mikhael won the coin toss, and he elected to go second. And so Clinton is going to be at the top of your screen. He is drafting Yami, Hokusai, and Sithuru. And Mikhael down at the bottom of the screen is drafting Yami, Hokusai, and Mayuki. And,
Yami.
Yeah. And Clinton is bringing Korjoff on his bench, and Mikhael is bringing Freyel.
So what I think is going to be very interesting is both of these decks are kill decks. Just taking, I personally used the same deck that Mikhael did in the qualifying rounds for this particular tournament, and so I know its kill potential. And taking a look at the cards behind the scene here for Clinton's deck, this one is no less deadly. So I expect a lot of violence here. We see that our victory objectives are the Tamer and Double Kill. So both of those very, very likely to happen with a deck that is designed to kill and kill quickly.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with Mikhael's deck, but Clinton, we've played, probably 10 matches on Ashen Pass with different variations of this deck as we were preparing. And he loves to murder you and murder you fast. I feel like if he's not winning one of these victory kill conditions by the end of round 2, he feels like he's a little bit behind. So he wants to go at you and go at you fast.
All right. So I know for a fact that with Miyuki on the field for Mikhael, that's going to end up bringing a lot of exhaustions into the field here, which normally would be useful if there were a whole bunch of blue heroes. You could easily just trade their warships for disarms or slows as appropriate, or potentially even marks, given that Mikhael does have 3 red heroes on here. So I am interested to see what Miyuki is going to bring here specifically. I expect that she's here due to the fact that there are 2 mages on the field. Her ability to prevent flips will be useful against those mages.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the list that you guys brought in bringing Miyuki. I thought it was just a great meta call with the amount of kill that was happening on this Ashen Pass. Just a great choice. So it looks like Clinton is activating with Hokusai.
Yep. All right, let's see what we do. Moves into place. Interesting that he didn't seize the center. Normally the center point is a good point to hold. Obviously, sometimes you don't want to control it right off the bat if your opponent can respond with a bunch of piercing damage. However, none of Mikhael's heroes in particular are going to dish out a whole lot of damage to a Hokusai this early into the game. But it seems that Clinton does opt to go for the dome. We did forget to mention the outsiders for this particular game. Clinton has brought the Dark Vigilante, Mikhael the Silent Ambassador.
Yeah, I know that Clinton values very highly winning that Dark Vigilante on round 1. I think especially with the Tamer as one of the victory conditions, he wants to make sure that he has control of the Tamer and not his opponent. He wants to be able to get a setup to be able to use the Dark Vigilante to get a kill both at the end of round 1 and 2. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see Clinton he would go all in, I think, in getting 3 heroes in that dome if he had to.
Ooh, that would be aggressive. But as someone who used the Dark Vigilante exclusively during the 2v2 league with GameSlayer, that I appreciate the Dark Vigilante. I'm not as big a fan of the Dark Vigilante on the Ashen Pass just because the rules of his spawn can sometimes be a little bit restrictive. Although with the minions respawn rule being changed, I may have to revise that opinion. Normally my gripe was whenever you moved the control token, it could be the case that the minions clogged up the 3 points next to the nexus where the Dark Vigilante could spawn. But since the minions only move now when you're not in line of sight, I may have to reevaluate that and consider the Dark Vigilante a little bit more highly, I think, on the Ashen Pass now.
Yeah, I think he gets a little bit better with the new minion rules, but you're right. I've run into the same situation where you win the Dark Vigilante and you just don't have a good place to spawn him where he can do anything.
I remember one of my opponents in the qualifying match actually did run into that issue where it was a little bit more of an aggressive push. The token was all the way against his nexus, and a lot of our heroes were kind of scattered down there. And he had to burn both a move and one of the skirmishes just to get into range of anything, because he was forced to spawn it down at my tower.
Yeah.
All right, so
Well,
let's
it
see.
looks like Michael's already in the tank, even about this first activation. I wonder if he's a little thrown off by not going towards the middle and just,
Yes.
Clinton saying, "I'm going to go take this dome."
So I know one of the openings that we like to do with this deck is to not do this. So it looks like we are going to worship on Yami here real fast. So Miyuki will force Yami to slow. This actually does make sense. With Miyuki's worship ability, that's going to put a slow on Yami. So even if Clinton does have a fast card, he won't be able to run Yami through minions and use her passive ability on them. Which is one of the main reasons you want to bring Yami, is you can use the passive kill a minion, and then you can further teleport around with the worship and attack actions. Yami very, very mobile after the worship changes. Miyuki will limit this to some extent now here. So we'll see what the end result... Okay, so we're just going to attack the minion. That makes sense. I would not be surprised if you told me that Michael has a quick shot or two in his hand.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good play to go in and get Yami slow.
Yes.
I don't dislike that play at all. I think it's very smart.
Yep, because even now, so if there is a fast, you could use a skirmish action and then a move, and you would be able to hit one of the minions that are in the more forward position of Michael. But I don't know if you want to commit that many resources for ultimately one minion.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. But knowing Clinton, his deck is packed full of a lot of ones, one mana card. So I think he knows the importance of getting these negative effects off of you.
Yes.
So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's packing everything here to help get this off.
So yeah. So spoiler. Oh wait a minute. Nope. There's Clear Mind. Okay. So there is a Clear Mind, a Clear Mind in his deck. With this particular setup. So I'll try to be as vague as possible, because I know since you have the possibility of playing him, depending on how things shake out here, you didn't want too much information on his deck, but there is a possibility that he will be able to cleanse the slow. Again, whether he chooses to do that or not, don't know. Let's see. All right, so we are going to... It looks like we are going to go for this skirmish here.
Yep.
Against Miyuki. Okay, +2 on the flip, 1 damage to Miyuki. That is accurate. She is not in this game. Takali, you're not in this game either. Go away. All right, 1 damage to Miyuki. Wait. 2 damage?
Yuki does have an armor, right?
She does. Was that not... How does that work? Okay, there we go. Wait, oh yeah, I would let that... Yeah. Is there an effect that we're missing here? Because...
No, I think she should be at 15.
Yeah. Because there's no way to deal 2 damage with a +2 on the flip. Yami is 2 + 2, which is 4. So even if that was an attack, that would have been a -3. Michael seems to insist that it's 4.
Okay.
Okay. Well, there's clearly something we're not privy to. So let's just mark that down and ask them what the deal there was. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, you know what? I bet it was a worship. I bet it was a worship action.
Okay. So, yes, that could be the case. If it was a worship, that would make sense. Yeah. So this is why action buttons are important, people. Don't confuse the casters.
I'm actually going to remind Clinton to use them right now.
So that does make sense then. Okay. Oh, yeah. Miyuki is marked now. So that was the worship action. That does make sense. Okay. I did not see that. So, yeah. So that was indeed the first action was a worship. With that, then, in that positioning, it seems like attack and lead are the possible options, or potentially a attack and a skirmish if you're just focused on dealing damage to Miyuki. One of those two things there seem to be the course of play as the end result.
All right, so have we seen anything else from...
Ooh, we have seen an
Looks like
exhaustion.
Miyuki is playing an exhaustion.
Okay, so we're going to change that mark into, I assume, a disarm?
Nope, the slow is coming back.
Or the slow is coming back. Okay, so again, we're going to prevent... So I suspect potentially a move was declared then as a result of that. So we are, or maybe this is a skirmish, so we flip against that, and it looks to be +1 and movement, so that was a skirmish action there. And I expect probably a lead, since you can't attack a minion from there, and you cannot move through any minions either. So leading seems to be the last option available for Yami in that position.
The mark token is coming back. I'm very confused already.
I am too.
Let's assume these guys know what they're doing.
It's true. Right, because when Yami played the time glitch, that would have given her fast. But you don't change the token, so she would have been marked, slowed, and fasted. Fasted? Hasted, whatever, close enough. And
If
then
you're
the
slow and
exhaustion.
fast, you still get 3 movement points.
Correct.
So,
yes, and so then the exhaustion would have removed the fast token. And so that seems to be, we're just going to go ahead and move into the dome. So going with what you said, Clinton is willing to commit everything in there. Okay, so there we go. We have the worship, the skirmish, and the move to verify that that is indeed what we just saw. So Clinton definitely going to commit for that dome.
Okay, that makes... All right, we've got it figured out now.
Indeed. So in this situation, I think as Mikhael, you don't actually want to win the lane by too much, because as it stands, you can essentially use the minions as a shield and protect Miyuki from the Dark Vigilante and force the Dark Vigilante to use an action to clear out minions.
Yep, that's a good point. And I assume you guys value the Silent Ambassador fairly highly?
Oh, yes. Yes, Silent Ambassador is definitely key, because to summarize what Mikhael describes, she just does a whole lot of everything. And it really is the case. With ranged attack, 3 and a flip, very, very useful for damaging heroes. The Stone Storm, extremely good. I think were you watching the game with Eric earlier?
I did.
Okay, yeah. So I got all 3 of his heroes with the slow, because he had them bunched up. Well, he didn't quite have them bunched up, because then the third ability, the wormhole, comes in that the wormhole, very, very effective. A, for getting your heroes out of danger, but B, also swapping someone in to an area that's extremely unfavorable for them. Now, the trade-off here is that the Silent Ambassador will activate after the Dark Vigilante, so there's only so much inconveniencing that can be done with the Silent Ambassador in this game, but nevertheless, if Mikhael gets control of her, and I can't see why you wouldn't with 2 heroes committed into Dome number 2, there can still be a significant amount of crowd control in terms of Stone Storm or potential damage if Cytheru stays in the lane.
Yeah, and the way that Clinton has his heroes, they're already kind of bunched up over in that lane. Like that AoE hitting both of them and slowing again.
Yes.
Could be very, very powerful.
So that does raise the question, what does Cytheru do? Clearly you can go for an easy skirmish action, an attack action against Miyuki, deal some piercing damage against her, bring her a little bit lower, and possibly set up for a turn 2 kill, unless he has Nightmares Incarnate with him. I'm sorry, not Nightmares Incarnate, a Shattermind. Although Clinton does have the flux, yeah. So if Clinton has 2 Shatterminds, you could set Miyuki up for a Dark Vigilante kill. That would bring you low enough that Dark Vigilante, even having to use an action to get through the minions, would still probably be able to kill Miyuki.
Yeah, I don't see a world where Clinton doesn't use Sithuru to just do as much damage to Miyuki as possible. I
Mm.
think that he has to see her as the biggest threat on that board.
Yes.
I mean, the fact that she's not just slowing people, but stopping the
Hmm.
attack flips, which Clinton
Yes.
very, very badly needs.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so he's got to be doing that. But
Hmm.
really, we're over here to Michael, who is really has got some options here
Hmm.
with Hokusai and Yami. Um, you know, you almost have to think like doing anything at Dome 2 just probably isn't worth it at this point.
Correct.
Um, so I think you see probably somebody here going to Dome 3,
I feel like
just
in
make a
this case,
presence.
sure. I feel like what you may want to do here is use Hokusai to get control of Dome 3. The problem is that based on his positioning, you're going to waste an action pretty much in order to do that. But get control of Dome 3, and then once Cytheru makes his move, if Michael's holding a time glitch of his own, use Yami to warp on to Cytheru, possibly deal some minion damage, um, do some damage to Cytheru, set him up for damage, and possibly try to get in the way of the Dark Vigilante chasing down Miyuki.
Is there a world here where he is maybe even considering getting Yami in a position right now to just go ahead and mark Sithuru?
So if you have a fast, you could do that without wasting too much action economy. You can very easily use the fast, run through the minion that is ahead of you, landing yourself in either the cover hex or the hex next to Miyuki or the one behind the minion. Any of those will be fine. Worship onto Cytheru to mark him and then attack him. That would be beneficial, as that would force Cytheru to start with the mark, and if Operation Assassinate Miyuki begins, he will have the mark already laid down on him. So I guess the question is, does Michael have the fast in order to get Yami within range of Cytheru without burning too much action economy?
Yeah.
It is still, of course, possible to do that with a move Skirmish Worship, but again, action economy, very important in the first round or two of Ashen Pass to set yourself up. Ashen Pass, a lot more snowbally than the 2-lane map, and so a few misplays early can snowball into a situation that you're just not able to control, and you basically play to not lose as opposed to win.
Very much so. Yeah, the first turn of the game is very important for sure. The first round of the game. So it's no surprise that Michael's kind of in the think tank here.
Absolutely.
So while he's thinking, RG, how did your tournament go yesterday? How did things pan out for you?
Pretty well. So this was actually the first qualifier that I was able to play in due to a combination of unfortunate circumstances in the summer and my class schedules on Saturdays. I actually haven't been able to play in a qualifier yet, so I ended up going 3-1. I won rounds 1, 2, and 4, qualified for the semifinals. Or I'm sorry, not the semifinals, the playoffs, the quarterfinals. Very close game. I played with Eric. I had a double misplay during that game, unfortunately. I used Neil before me a little bit ahead of time, and what annoyed me was when I reflected on the game afterwards, I realized I had Doom in hand, and I could have stopped the presenced flux, or the fluxed presence, and that would have let me survive with 1 HP, so that was a little bit unfortunate on reflection, but again, overall, I'm not too upset with the results for the first qualifier that I've been able to participate in.
No, I would agree. I think for the first one, that's fantastic. Make the cut. That's got to be the goal, right? Like I want to
Yeah,
get in,
that
have some
was
fun,
that
and
was
make
the
the
goal.
cut. So
Mm-hmm. All right, so we see what Hokusai is going to do. So Hokusai is going to go with the move Skirmish Lead, so making it very clear to Cytheru that trying to contest Dome 3 is not in your best interest, because then Yami would just zip over and force a 5-4 win, because Cytheru cannot play Presence and tie a dome.
yep. So like I said, I really think that we're going to see some damage here to
Oh, yes.
Mayuki. Um,
Let's see, what does Cytheru have in mind? And oh, there is a possibility, though, if Cytheru tries to do damage, if Michael is holding a Psychic Shield,
yep.
as there are Psychic Shields in this particular deck here, so that would be extraordinarily useful in cutting off any potential All right, so here we go. We see the skirmish action first, so we're going to probably move into range into Miyuki, into the cover hex. Makes sense. 0+ on the flip for piercing damage. Oh, and speaking of Psychic Shield, Michael did not want to see that.
Here
That's going to bring her to
comes the pain.
11. Yep. All aboard the pain train. Departing now.
So I think it's good here. He got in cover,
Yes.
so he's out of doom range, things like that.
Oh,
okay, so he's playing a clear mind.
Okay.
So he's going to buff up this attack by 1.
Yes. So this will be 4 plus
4
the flip.
Plus.
Oh, poor Miyuki.
Oh, another 3.
That's
down
gonna
to
hurt.
4.
Okay. Yes, there is no world in which Miyuki survives. Dark Vigilante typically can deal 7 to 10 damage consistently on its activation. Given that it'll probably have to use one of them in order to clear out a minion, you can still expect a piercing skirmish plus a piercing attack to follow up. I don't see Miyuki surviving.
Okay, so I find it interesting that he ran into the dome. Maybe he's just trying to protect Setharu here. It's Yami. Yami can do whatever she wants. She goes wherever she wants.
So as it stands right now, no, you can still block the Dark Vigilante with a 2 advancement. So that wouldn't have been any sense to do that. I suppose he must be hiding Setharu to make it harder for Yami to get access to him.
Yeah, maybe so. And just note for me, I'm not as an aggressive of a player, so like I see middle lane, no lead. Like what? I can sit here. I have an action free to lead. I'm going to do that. But
so and that's one of the strange things on Ashen Pass, right? Because unless you're using trample, lane you can win by 1 or by 5, and it doesn't really net you that much of a difference aside from control token position in the first round. Certainly that does become an issue in round 2. As minions, if you kill off a few minions, and then you can potentially snowball your positioning here. But I don't think Clinton really cares if the control token presses a little bit towards him.
Oh yeah, I'm certain he doesn't. As long as he is not at a place where he can lose at the end of round 2, he's totally fine with losing a lane. But like you said though, where as it stands now, Miyuki is gonna be protected a little bit, so Clint's gonna have to do a little bit of extra work. I mean, I'm fairly confident that she's still gonna be dead. But I don't know. I find it hard not to. I just want to win as many lanes as possible.
Sure. So the other option, I guess, is moving into the dome. Does make it a little bit more challenging to get to Setharu for the Silent Ambassador. The Silent Ambassador can still peg him down if you go for a skirmish action. You'll be able to. Well, let's see. If you spawn in that, is that 1, 2, 3? No, that's 5. So yeah, so you'd have to use a skirmish action to move 1 away from the dome perimeter into the lane, and then you can wormhole the Dark Vigilante, because I'm assuming Miyuki just dies here. So you can wormhole the Dark Vigilante into dome number 2 and swap him with Setharu, and bring him out to the open and then shoot him. That again lowers action. Oh. Okay, why are you playing Skytear Discharge? I can't see any world that Yami would go into that.
Okay, worshipping on Clinton's Yami.
Yep. All right, I'm wrong. Well, this is why Michael's in the semifinals and I'm not.
Okay, so that's going to be 2 damage to Clinton's Yami.
-1 armor. Oh, no, I'm sorry, yeah, 2 damage total. And so then Skytear Discharge goes off. Oh no, it does not, because it's a placement. Yeah, so okay, that makes sense. So do you skirmish to get to Setharu now? Is that the plan? Because leading here is absolutely pointless. Unless, oh, wait a minute. No, that's wrong. Okay, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong. Wait a minute.
Clinton
Is
has a lead from Hokusai from deck.
is Michael going to gamble and think that that's a 1? Because if that is a 1, a lead 3 from Yami would tie this dome. Is
I
Michael
don't
going for the...
dislike, yeah, I don't dislike that. If Michael has a 3 in hand, I don't
Oh,
dislike giving it a shot.
yeah, because I think Michael knows the kind of deck that Clinton would play here. And looking at this deck, there are the 4 ultimates, but after that, there's only 4 other cards that are not 1s, and there are quite a few 0s, which means this could be the 500 IQ play here. If Michael has a lead of 3, and he steals the Dark Vigilante, that would be nothing short of hilarious. Granted, the Dark Vigilante is not going to be able to do too much, courtesy of like the wall of red that we've got there. If you want to talk about defensive positioning, you won't be able to get to any of the heroes, but I guess you could use the Dark Vigilante to go ahead and completely clear out the minions, and that would allow Michael to focus on doing whatever he wants during round number 2. I actually want to see Michael lead now at this point. Just go for the gamble. I think if you're going to commit Yami into the... Yes!
There it is.
Oh!
Lead from hand.
Oh, this is going to be so good. And let's remember, Clinton has gotten the short end of the stick on leads from the deck before on the Ashen Pass. I think we can all remember a couple months ago whenever that happened. And then I believe it was the Scourge of Puito this time that was in contention. And unfortunately, Clinton then got slashed up by the Scourge because he lost it on a 0 flip from the lead. So let's go and see how that resolves. That's going to be exciting.
So lane 1 goes to Michael. He wins by 2.
Okay.
So the control token's going to move up 2, and they are going to be spawning 2 more minions. So with the new minion placement rules, Michael's minions do not move from their original position.
Indeed. And based off of this now... wait,
that's not a minion.
That is not a minion.
There you go.
There we go. I was going to say, wait a minute, are we just changing the rules now?
I'm just going to put Korchoff in.
That seems OP. Please nerf blue. So we do know that Hokusai will win Dome 3 uncontested, but the question is, did Michael go for the 5,000 IQ play and get a double dome off of this? This could be huge. Show me leads.
Hokusai leads with a 0.
No, he did!
Yami with a 3. Yami not only does she lead, she wins Dome 2.
Oh my god, Clinton has got to be so upset right now. Oh my goodness.
And Hokusai indeed wins Dome 3.
Okay, so Dark Vigilante not only not going to assassinate Miyuki here, but actively going to work against Clinton. That's huge.
Yeah, I think that play right there, man, that's so big for Clinton's game plan, is to be able to get a kill on Miyuki here. And the fact that that is completely negated. The Dark Vigilante is not going to be able to do much. He's going to kill a couple of minions, I think. I think that's completely fair here.
So, go ahead.
Oh, no, I just think that play, just such a good play from Michael to just go ahead and take the chance and lead here. So good. So
here's what the Dark Vigilante can do. The Dark Vigilante actually can serve to protect Miyuki. So if you summon the Dark Vigilante in actually doesn't really matter where you summon it, but make it so that you target the first the minion that's on the control point with the first attack that allows you to kill minions. Skirmish over to the left side towards Dome 3. Kill the second minion. Use the skirmish action to finish into the dome. Use the Silent Ambassador to swap Miyuki with the Dark Vigilante. And then Clinton just can't get to Miyuki.
There you go. Pro play.
This could be huge. If Michael goes for that setup here.
The idea of using the outsiders against themselves, I think, is just
amazing.
Second level kind of stuff. Yeah.
That is, oh goodness. Okay, so we seem to be having a lot of communication about something. I don't know what it is, but at the end of the day, here we go. Yeah. Okay, so Dark Vigilante spawns right here. Hopefully we'll see what I outlined, or what I just outlined. So, yep, Silent Ambassador is going to go right there. Puts her in range. No, not right there. You'll block her off. What are you doing? Stop that. Come on, Michael. Please pretend to let me look smart. Anywhere but that cover hex is where you want to put her. Right there. Drop it. Let it go.
Now, the thing is, though, there's always Yami on the board who
It's
can
true.
get just about anywhere she wants.
It's true. So that is fair, but based on where the Dark Vigilante can end up, unless Yami uses a fast, that will require all 3 of her actions to get after Miyuki, and therefore not necessary, and won't even guarantee the kill then, because Yami's is a 1+, and Miyuki has 1 armor. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna kill the minion. Good. No, Michael, that's the... Wait. Okay, we're not doing what I thought, but I'm sure Michael knows what he's doing, so we'll see what we're doing here. I mean, I guess technically you could then just use the skirmish action to kill the other minion and then move into the dome. Or does Michael have other... Or he could potentially be sending the Dark Vigilante against Yami? I'm not sure if that's what he wants to do. All right, well, regardless, that minion's dead. Okay, +2 on the flip, dead minion. And now we get to play our favorite game of let's pull pieces that are on the same hex up. All right, so where do you
does
send
have
this?
2 more movement here if he wants to do something.
Yes. Again, I don't see why you just don't send the Dark Vigilante into your dome and then swap him with Miyuki and guarantee that Clinton has to spend a whole lot of resources if he wants her dead. And then you just have a hero right there that's set up to control Dome 3 for you in turn number 2.
It's definitely in the tank.
And especially now that I think about it, with the Silent Ambassador then, you could very easily, if you did the wormhole, you would still be able to skirmish and then use the Stone Storm, and that would guarantee that Yami, even with a fast, Yami would not be able to get in range of the Miyuki kill. Or the Miyuki thing there, so... Let's see, come on, Michael.
And just like that, I mean, the Clinton is very much just already in danger of losing his towers.
Oh,
right?
yes.
I mean, it's
absolutely.
a 5-0 minion lead here.
Yeah. Clinton has to... oh, he's cleaning up the cards there. Okay, I was going to say, random Skytear discharge appears. Michael still... yes, that's right, Michael. Bring him. Yep. And now send him into your dome, and then you... Nope, that's not your dome, Michael. All right.
I think maybe he's smelling blood and wants to hit Yami.
I guess. Yami has 16
be
HP, though.
It would be probably a +1 skirmish here, the best he could do if he wanted to hit Yami.
Yeah, +1 skirmish or piercing skirmish makes no difference. Actually, unless I guess if he would have used one of the +1 skirmishes, since the Dark Vigilante's abilities are good for the entire activation, if he did burn 2 of the special, then I guess you could send Yami in there to do a +1 piercing skirmish. So that could do 1 plus a flip piercing to her.
Yep.
But again, Yami's at 16 HP. Like, she's not going to die anytime soon here. Especially... well, let's see what happens. Are you just forgoing that... okay. It looks like he just passed.
Okay.
All right, let's see what he does. Okay, move. Okay, this is also an option here. We're just going to use the Dark Vigil, or we're going to use the Outsiders to create a wall. That also is an option as well. So with the move action there, then we go ahead and we Stun Storm, Cytheru, and Hokusai, keep them trapped down as much as possible. 1 plus the
slows
flip
to
here.
the both of them.
Oh,
yep.
nope,
I think it's probably better to slow Yami.
Yes.
I think that's a smarter play.
Yeah, you want to prevent that minion kill. Okay. So
Hokusai is going to take 1, and Yami will take 2.
Indeed.
The slow is the key there.
Yes. Now, are you going to wormhole, or are you going to predict? I assume he uses the predict here, since you've moved, you've done the Stone Storm, and you can't attack anyone. Wormholing doesn't make sense from the formation that you've set up. So I assume that you just use the predictability to see, do you want to draw these 2 cards, or do you want to take a chance on something else?
Yeah, I think predict here is good, knowing what you're about to draw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as Michael does have 3 cards in hand, Clinton also 3 as well, so card draw is going to be important here. As you mentioned, right now there is 6-0 in the center lane, which means Clinton loses this game if he doesn't defend his lane. And we're gonna swap the... Okay. All right. We are gonna use Wormhole then and move...
Oh.
Well, I guess that means that you have to commit some actions before you're able to damage Yami, right? As otherwise, everyone was in the dome. Yami could see Yami, and so you could just blow up on her.
Yep.
That's fair.
That's one less action point. If he wants to just go maybe all in here and say, I'm going to try to win by a Nexus.
Yes.
It's just one less action point that he has to take.
It's true. Yeah. There are no minions, so Michael can focus exclusively on using an action for a lead and then just wailing on Setheru or Yami as they come into this lane to try and defend, because I think that you have to bring them into the lane to defend. Otherwise, as we mentioned, you have no minions. Michael has a lot of minions, and so you just lose.
You can't win this game if you lose. That's what I've always said. Yep.
That is very true. We can. You know what? I think we're going to add that under our pearls of wisdom of dead heroes cannot lead. I think we're now going to add you can't win if you lose.
That's right.
So who does Clinton start here with, in your opinion?
So, I mean, right where he's at, I mean, he could take a worship action with his Yami and just try to take out Miyuki here. But here's the thing, like, this is one of those, like, do I even try to kill a Miyuki right now and just let a full health Freyel come right back?
Exactly.
And this is where Michael's in a really good spot. He's the second player. He can just hold back with Miyuki.
Yes.
Let that be the last activation. So he's in a really good spot. So it's difficult. So maybe you bring Setheru out, do some damage into Yami. I don't know. You also have to deal with the minions. He's in a rough spot.
It's true. And as you as you mentioned, with the full health Freyhill, with Miyuki dying, Freyhill would have easy access to just simply move right into range of the control point and take over Miyuki's place in terms of control value added.
Yep.
So yeah, I think Clinton is definitely in a pressured situation. That dome play there, that Michael pulled off with the double dome, significant swing in momentum in Michael's favor.
So dangerous to lead from the top of your deck when you have zeros.
Oh yeah, that's honestly, that's why I hate doing it unless I've used some sort of a prediction beforehand, whether it's the Silent Ambassador or I have Biding Times. So Biding Times won't make an appearance in this game because the hero that has them wasn't selected. But Biding, if I'm sure of what's going to come, then I'll do a lead from the deck. But otherwise, it's just so risky. Yeah, and I don't think you want to activate Setheru first here, because then that requires him coming out into the lane, and then that's, an exposed mage that Yami just capitalizes on and says, all right, now I just gun you down.
Yep, so it's Hokusai. Looks like...
Okay. Ooh, okay, so we could be going for the self-destruct worship here. If you flip a +3 on the worship, that would blow up Miyuki. Although it looks like we're going to mark Yami instead, so never mind.
So worship on Yami?
Yep. Ooh, or is he going to try and set up for a double kill? That is an option.
Oof,
Clinton with another +3. Oh. All right, Yami down to 14, Hokusai down to 12. So that is one thing, I guess, that we didn't consider. Clinton does have the flux, and so therefore it is possible to set up for a double kill. Setheru comes in at the last second, zap, some Shatter Mines, some Nightmare Incarnate, or whatever the case may be, and it could be the situation that we have a double kill here in his favor. All right, so +2 on the flip, 4 damage to Yami as she has no armor, courtesy of the mark and being in line of sight of Hokusai. Oh, that was a skirmish, excuse me. So
that was a skirmish,
yep. Sorry.
Yep. Down to 12.
Now we go for the attack, I assume. Yep, there's the attack. So this will be 2 plus the flip there, whatever that may be. Maybe.
Michael may have a reaction here.
Okay. Time for some responses. Michael said, I've had enough of you beating up on my heroes. I'm not going to stand by and take it. So we're going to play exhaustion.
He's going to play an exhaustion.
Okay, so does she remove her armor or does she swap Hokusai's into... Yeah, swap this into disarm because Hokusai is on his final action, so just cut the damage in half. Or you...
Nope, he's turning it into a mark.
Ah, okay, so this also makes sense because in this situation, you drop Hokusai's attack to 1 and he doesn't get to flip because he's within range 3 of Miyuki. So that actually makes sense. All right, Yami takes 1 damage.
Just the 1 damage.
Nice play by Michael there to defend Yami from, to be frankly honest, I think that alone might prevent the double kill setup.
Yeah, I think Miyuki, that's part of me still, like, the downside of bringing Frail in may be worth the fact that Miyuki is just neutering his board.
Yes. So I think in this case, Michael goes with Hokusai at this point. And then that way, again, as you mentioned, Miyuki has the option of going last because as you mentioned, you could run Miyuki away, but if Skytear is dedicated enough, he could chase her down. I guess you could send Miyuki into the dome, and then I don't think that there's enough for him to get to her, but Yami could still come after her. So I think Hokusai goes here, comes to influence the lane, and then Miyuki... Clinton decides, do I try to kill Miyuki or what do I do here? And we see how that plays out.
So it looks like that was the end of Hokusai's activation.
Mm-hmm.
So now Michael is got some thinking to do.
So Hokusai's positioning there does suggest that it is possible that Clinton might try to shield slam either Yami or the minion. Shield slamming Yami obviously would limit her mobility, but given that Clinton's heroes are all right within Yami's worshipping ability and Yami would then ignore the slow, that doesn't seem to be likely to happen, although Yami is also marked already. So, all right, let's see what we're going to do. Never mind. Speculation time over.
He's activating Yami,
yep.
And he's declaring a worship.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see who that goes as soon as that resolves. Again, because worships are now worships are now hero within 3, you do not actually have to declare whom is the target of the worship until it resolves. I guess to whom you are targeting.
All right, so it's like Clinton is playing a shield slam.
Okay, so does he target Yami or the minion? Yami. Okay, so we're going to deal 2 piercing. Yep. All right, so now Michael needs to be careful because 9 is a little bit close. You could potentially set up for a double kill on this. So Yami is slowed.
Nope, there's another shield slam coming down from Clinton.
Okay, yeah. This Clinton I think is definitely committing to the double kill.
Down to 7.
I think Michael survives this round or he loses the game. And if he survives this round, he wins the game. So I think we're going to see a turn 2 game here. Because Clinton is dumping a lot of resources setting up for this double kill.
He's down to only 3 cards in hand here.
Yep. All right, so who...
All right, so the worship is going on to Skytear, which I think is smart. You want, if he's going to come in and make any sort of attacks, you want those to be neutered here. So that's going to be 3 damage to Skytear.
Mm-hmm. And smartly hiding in the cover hex, that means it will require a little bit of movement from Clinton's heroes in order to see Yami. Now, Yami is slowed. She has only worshipped. There are no minions for her to attack. Okay, so time glitch will erase this. So in this point, I think, you just run Yami over into the cover hex. That is right above dome number 3 and just hide out there. And I think that should mostly prevent the double kill. I can't figure out how you would get enough damage out. Well, I guess you could move. You could skirmish attack and then... okay, maybe you could do it. Sethuru illusion. No, that would be too many actions.
Oh, just moving into the dome.
Okay.
Okay.
Michael going with another 5,000 IQ play here. This was a skirmish action, so Sethuru will take one damage. And okay, then we're gonna pop back out. Okay. All right, I can see that.
So still got the move, and here's the move. Yep.
Right. Now we can't get into a cover hex though. So where are we going? Are we just gonna go? Oh right, because time glitch lets you remove a condition. Duh. So yeah, you are no longer slowed. Whoops. So that's how we did that. Okay. You'd think I would know what cards do considering they're in the deck that I play, but you would be wrong if you thought that. Alright, so Yami is actually pretty safe now. I don't think the double kill is as likely anymore. So let's see what Clint responds with.
Currently, well, that was just the first activation. Mm-hmm. I would fully expect a Hokusai lead from Mikhael, getting into lane and leading. This is an uphill battle for Clinton for sure.
Yes. So as of right now, let's take stock in the middle. It is 7-1 in Mikhael's favor, which still guarantees instant tower destruction. And so, again, to go back on what I said, Clinton, I think, needs to figure out a way to make this work, because if you go for this double kill, you're going to commit a ton of resources. That means you're not clearing the minions. And so if he doesn't destroy two heroes, the minion content just overwhelms him. Then Mikhael's final hero just simply leads. And even if you only lead with a 1, I think that's just sufficient that we just go and say goodbye tower. So let's see what we do.
He's going to start with a skirmish with Yami.
Okay. So I think we're going to do this to get Mikhael's Yami into view.
Yep. I think we're going to maybe see some fireworks here. So there's 2.
Okay.
Not quite there yet.
That does put her in range of a single hit though. Okay, so
maybe
now we're going to
worship
on Yami.
Here.
Nope, we're worshipping on Yami. As she cannot Yami cannot see Yami yet, but Yami can see Yami. That makes no sense. So, all right, so Yami is now visible.
There's 2 damage.
Okay, so there's one of the Shatter Mines. So what Mikhael, I hope, has are some Dooms. If you have some Doom cards, as soon as Sethuru shows his face, you can start casting Doom and prevent a whole bunch of magic flying from Sethuru.
Right, and then Clinton leads from hand as his last action with Yami.
Okay, so I'm going to suspect that that's one of Clinton's 3 mana cards here, because I think Clinton realizes that if he doesn't get the double kill, then he needs to have a backup plan. All right, so Hokusai goes, yep, this makes perfect sense. Do not activate Miyuki until it is absolutely necessary, because you want to try and get Freehill online if Clinton tries to kill Miyuki and fails to kill Yami. So, here we go. We're going to move. I assume... So I assume you move, you skirmish, and then you mark Sethuru. Setheru's already marked, so that doesn't matter.
So if he skirmishes... Clinton's still gonna have... I was trying to think if he can block Sethuru from getting around to Yami, but he can always go around the backside closer to the Nexus.
Also, just as a point, should Yami not be at 6 HP because she was 4 hexes from Hokusai, so his effect wouldn't... Okay, yeah, Mikhael just realized it. Yep, there we go.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's right.
There we go. That 1 HP could matter. Like this.
Oh, absolutely.
This is going to get close, because we've seen a bunch of Clinton's +3 flips already. I think we've seen all 3 Psychic Shields. And so that 1 HP could very well mean the difference between dead Yami and not dead Yami.
Yeah, there are 3 Psychic Shields in the discard pile. So,
okay.
Which would lead me to believe that that's an alt that is being led by Yami. So there's probably only 3 more in the deck there. So.
Okay. Yep. Oh boy, this is tense. So Hokusai has used all of his mana for Clinton. Yami and Satheru both have full mana, so... Okay, we're going to worship on Yami. Alright, continuing to do damage to her. This will be 2 damage. Okay, Hokusai to 15, Yami to 12. Now, depending on how many dooms you have in hand, I almost want to say you preemptively just doom Yami so that she can't contribute to any Shattermind shenanigans, because Yami can kill Miyuki with a Shattermind right now. Miyuki only has 2 hit points. All right, here we go.
Right,
moment
so
of truth.
Here comes the skirmish.
All right, moment of truth. Does Clinton get the double kill, or does Michael just completely destroy his Nexus?
So here's the flip. Oh, that's not what you want to see.
No! All right, Miyuki lives for now. She's going to die, but at what cost?
So now I almost wonder, do you just try not to lose the lane? Is there any way here? Can you maybe kill a minion, quick shot a couple of minions, and just not lose? And if this goes to the next round, then Clinton becomes much higher favor here to get a double kill off.
Sure. All right, so let's do some math. So let's assume that Yami has a 3, right? So if that's the case, Clinton has 6 points of lead. Michael would have 4, 5, 6, 11. Dead tower. Exactly enough. You would have to kill minions. So does Clinton take the chance, or does he play it safe and kill the minions, as you said?
Yeah. So if he's got some quick shots here, maybe you take a shot at Yami.
I hate to say it, he doesn't have quick shots.
Okay, well, there you go.
I know he does not have quick shots. So that's not an option. Well, he's already burned the shield slams from Hokusai to kill off a minion there.
So then he's almost forced to kill a minion here.
Yes. If he kills a singular minion, he will survive by 1. So the question then is, given that Michael knows at that point that he can't kill the tower, do we just send Miyuki into Dome 2 and grab control of the Dark Vigilante and start killing Satheru?
I 100% would do that.
Yeah.
If I know I'm not losing a tower, go take a dome.
Because you can attack Satheru, you can skirmish and move, or just move, I guess, or whatever, and get into the dome, get it for free, and then Dark Vigilante will spawn right next to Satheru, presumably. Oh, wait a minute. No, that control token will press again. Yeah, okay. Okay. Maybe you go for the Silent
Ambassador. Then you could just go and get the, you could go
Silent
get the Ambassador at that point.
Yep, go get Silent Ambassador. She'll do the job that the Dark Vigilante cannot. Especially with that positioning, you could use the Stone Storm to slow Yami as well as dealing some damage to Satheru. All right, so very tense moment. Our players are doing a lot of math.
Clinton's here probably doing some math himself.
Also, not that it matters, but just because I'm going to be that person, we're going to go ahead and throw the Outsiders' HP onto the board, as the Outsiders are part of the game.
In my game in the Swiss against Eric, we were coming down to time, and no characters had been killed, and I started like, well, I'm just going to try to kill an Outsider then and get an onslaught point. I wasn't able to do it, but it's something you can do now. You can attack the Outsiders no matter what. Oh, They're always an enemy hero.
Yeah, and I really like that change, honestly, because I feel like, again, the premise of Skytear that was presented to me was that it's basically MOBA meets Magic kind of thing. And in MOBAs, one of the big goals is being able to kill the big neutral monster, whatever that may be, and get some sort of benefit. But before, with the initial rules, you could get control of the Outsider, but then they didn't really do too much other than just kind of stand in the way. But now that they're part of the board, counting as enemy heroes, unless specifically you're activating them, and they can count for points of the Tamer, points of the double kill, onslaught points, and so on and so forth. And if you just kill them, then their dome becomes a worthless prize, except for a control point for a tactician objective. I think it integrates them a lot more into the game, and I really like that.
Yeah.
All right, so Clinton has 2 cards in hand. We've seen one Shattermind. Would you mind taking a quick peek at his discard and seeing what kind of direct damage cards that are in there? Because I don't want to go up there myself and break the board away.
So there is 1 Shattermind in the discard pile.
Okay.
There are 2 Nightmare Incarnates are in the discard pile.
Okay, so
and 2 Skytear Discharge.
So that means that there is a possibility that he's holding 2 Shatterminds or Nightmares Incarnate. So or Shattermind and Nightmare Incarnate. So it is possible that Clinton does hold the cards to attempt a double kill.
Now, if Mikhael is running any sort of psychic shields or anything like
Yes.
that, I almost don't know if you can risk that. I think you have to try to. I think you try to go to next round, kill a minion, and live to fight another day here.
Yeah. Michael does have 3 psychic shields. I didn't see how many of them have been flipped. I think we saw 1 during the flip.
Yeah, I'll go take a
Thank
peek
you, sir.
here. Let's see.
Okay, here we go.
There are none in the discard pile.
Cytheru plays Shattermind. Does a psychic shield come down? Michael does have 1 card in hand.
So who is he targeting?
Miyuki was targeted. Does Miyuki end up dying here? Michael, do you have a response?
Michael's holding 2 cards. So.
Yep. Oh, Clinton's holding 1 card. Michael is holding 2.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
Michael has 2.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the wrong player there. So Michael has 2 cards. If either of those are a psychic shield, this entire plan fizzles. If there's a doom, do you play it on Cytheru to stop another piercing damage, or do you play it on Yami, assuming that it could also potentially be a Nightmare Incarnate? Which I guess if it's a Nightmares Incarnate, then Cytheru would be able to pop the Flux and play it anyways. So I guess in this case,
Yeah, if you play the Doom now, yeah, you just go ahead and So
guess Cytheru, yeah. Either way. If Michael has a Psychic Shield, he's okay. If he doesn't, he may be in danger. Because with Yami at 6 HP, Cytheru still gets to attack.
There's the Psychic
Shield. Okay, that's it. Miyuki can die here. Yami will not, as a result, because you can commit the attack to kill Miyuki. But in this situation, I don't think it is any possible to get the double kill now. So Miyuki will be protected from the Shattermind, plus any further potential plays there in terms of power cards for this activation. And so now... Oh, wait, yeah, Shattermind is an action, which means Yami can't play Shattermind. She's already moved.
All right, so Clinton is going to go ahead and make an attack on a minion. I think that's the right play. You can't lose the game here.
Correct.
And then Worship. I think this is also a really smart play here.
Okay.
Get that out on the board. I don't know if I like that placement.
But I guess the idea is to hide it away so that Michael can't really destroy it.
So. I guess that makes sense. All right, so here's Miyuki going.
All right, so does Miyuki go
see if she goes and gets a dome.
Yeah, which dome does we go for? I think we go for the Silent Ambassador here. I did see Michael inspecting the Dark Vigilante's card here, but given how this control zone is going to push and the minions are going to repopulate, the Dark Vigilante would have to spawn at Michael's side, so I hope he makes the right call and goes for the Silent Ambassador. I would go and attack... no, Michael, you get free damage on Cytheru. No! Unless you want to go for Yami, I guess, first?
Okay, so there's a move.
Okay, I mean, I guess this works too. Yeah, move, attack, attack, move, same thing.
An attack on Cytheru here.
Sure. All right, so this is going to set up for the kill. Ooh, and another Psychic Shield.
Damage.
Very nice. So Cytheru is dead. Uncontested. Because, well, assuming that Miyuki does not, in fact...
All right, so here's a skirmish.
Okay. Does he target Yami? I feel like you target Yami in this case because Cytheru is pretty much going to die to the Silent Ambassador's attack. Okay, yep, that wouldn't have really killed her anyway, so Yami takes 1 damage as she is marked and within range of Cytheru, or excuse me, in range of Hokusai's effect.
I think that was
And
a smart play for Mikhael to go get that
yes,
dome.
indeed. And then do you just worship on Yami just to add slow? Although I guess it doesn't matter because you're about to put slow on her with Stone Storm. So do you just pass, I guess? Oh, you just lead. Okay, that's fine. That's fair. I guess you lead and then you prevent any weird things from happening. Although I don't really know what can really happen. So, all right, 3 damage to Clinton's tower.
Yep, won by 9-6.
Supernova. So Cytheru dies. That's just all we can say about that. Yami is at 11. Ooh, let's see. 6 plus. Oh yeah, we're gonna set up for. Nope, we're not gonna set. I mean, we're gonna try to go for the.
So yeah, they need to move the
Oh,
control point, spawn their minions,
Yes.
and do all that sort of stuff first.
Yep. Resolve lane 1 before resolving the Silent Ambassador actions.
Yep, and all of these minions down here in the back are all going to have to be moved.
Yes, as with the new rules, once they are out of sight, they immediately reposition themselves such that they are within line of sight of the control zone that they would be influencing. Yeah, you have to move that one as close as possible because technically that should have moved before you spawned a minion, and so then your other minion would have had to have spawned within 2. All right, so now this actually is a bit of a population crunch here for Clinton. Yami, of course, doesn't really care too much as she enjoys the chance to move, and although she won't be able to firewalk through anybody, she can still worship her way out of the problem. So let's go back to what we were doing, which is stone storming 2 people.
Oh! There's 4 damage.
All right. Unfortunately, you can't set up for a double kill here because Yami would at most take 6 damage from an attack, and Cytheru would still live. But you can still set this up. Ooh, if Mikhael has kneel before me. Nope, he does not, because if he did, then he would just leave Yami alive and kill them both with her. Okay, so Cytheru is dead.
And this means Korjov comes in exhausted.
Yes. Which I guess doesn't really matter because it's the end of the round, but still worth noting. 1 point on the tamer for Mikhael. Korjov will have to spawn within 2, as all three of the Nexus adjacent hexes are currently populated.
Nope. There's a spot right here for Korjov.
Yeah,
right next
that's
where
within.
Cytheru was.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yep, he could spawn right there. So, we move into turn number 3 now. So, with this minion, although, no, because of the Silent Ambassador, Korjov wouldn't be able to maneuver his way into the dome to get Miyuki, and you can't get line of sight there. Although, do you have a Wind Blast that you could potentially just do something with that? Does not look like a Wind Blast could come out.
So there is one more action from the Silent Ambassador, right?
Yes.
We've done the AoE, we've done an attack.
Mm-hmm. So I think he's waiting for Korjov to spawn in. And then
there's only one spot he can go.
Oh yeah. So do we attack Korjov or do we attack Yami? Because, well, I guess even if you had kneel before me, you could just attack Yami here. And then, well, no, because you would have set up for the double kill. So I assume we're going to attack Korjov.
Or again, we're going into round 3. Maybe you just predict here. And
that's true. Yeah.
Try to filter what cards are coming into your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't have a Psychic Shield, if you don't have something like that, like maybe this is the time you go fishing.
Yes. Here's a thought. Would you mind taking a look? Is Featherstorm in Clinton's discard? I can't remember if we've seen Featherstorm. I apologize for making you do all the searching.
No. Glad to do it. The only ult that is in Clinton's discard pile is the Supernova.
Supernova. Okay. So no, that is not the case. Okay, so Featherstorm actually is a possibility. Where he could do some shenanigans to Yami with potentially a attack and a skirmish.
Right, so it looked like he attacked Yami
Yes.
and did 5 damage.
Yep. Scion Ambassador does finish that off. So, yeah, if Clinton has Featherstorm and Michael doesn't have a Psychic Shield, Korjov could potentially get a double kill with his ultimate. Attack and kill the Yami with an attack and a skirmish. Worship yourself so that you can get the Featherstorm effect, and then play the Featherstorm as your turn resolves.
Well, Michael is now sitting, because he got the kill, he's sitting on a handful of 6 cards. So
yes.
I think that was probably smart just to go ahead and get Sethuru out the board,
Yes.
if nothing else, for the card draw here.
Yes, and also prevents Final Judgment, because Final Judgment, Sethera's ultimate, is just one of those cards where it's like, hey, I'm going to blast this area.
Yep.
And given where Michael's heroes are positioned, that would be highly unfortunate, because you can hit all 3 of them plus the Scion Ambassador for bonus.
Now remind me, does Miyuki's ult, is it target hero? To save a target hero?
That is a great question, and I'm going to have to look that one up. Miyuki's ultimate is choose a friendly hero on the battlefield, which means it is global.
Okay. So if he is sitting on a Miyuki ult,
yes,
guess
that is
who
another
doesn't
way.
die? Yami does not die.
And also, very, very important, and thank you for bringing that up, because I actually completely forgot Caged Soul, because I don't think I've ever had a chance to play it. It lasts the entire phase. It is not a single activation. Okay, Yami's going to play Lifesteal. This makes perfect sense. This is Clinton's Yami, of course. So Yami is going to Lifesteal off of presumably the minion or off of Yami. Okay, we're going to attack Yami, so we're going to try to go ahead and kill her. That makes sense. So this will be 2 plus, okay, on the flip there. Very nice.
3 damage.
Mm-hmm. And some health back for that Yami. So does this Yami have Kneel Before Me? Because if she does, Yellow Yami is dead. There's a lot. Well, again, of course, assuming that Caged Soul is not the option. Okay, we're pinging Yami for something.
We're pinging something.
A shield slam? No, that was a flip.
Maybe,
okay, skirmish?
maybe a worship?
Worship or skirmish?
Probably a skirmish. There's one. Yep, 1 damage.
Okay. Interesting that he didn't use the worship action there. Although I guess if you want to try to maneuver Yami around, as she is slowed.
Okay, it's gonna heal 2 more.
Yeah, that's important. That skirmish action will increase your life from the lifesteal card. So red Yami looking pretty good right now at the expense of yellow Yami. Ooh, this is tense. This is tense for both players.
Well, I was gonna say he's only got 1 mana left, but he could flux in for 2.
Okay, so we're flipping something. It looks like, so I assume this has to be the worship.
I think we're looking through discard piles.
Okay, that could be the case. Yeah.
I think they're maybe checking to make sure the correct amount of damage.
Ah, okay. Oh.
Well,
Wait. Oh my. That was a huge shift. Okay, apparently there was a bit of mismath there somewhere.
okay, now cards are just being put back on the deck. So maybe there was a response? Maybe Michael had a response to something that...
Well, all 3 of his heroes still have maximum mana, and there was no Psychic Shield played, so... Maybe it's just like a miscalculation on the math?
Maybe.
Alright, anyways. +2 on whatever flip this was. I assume this is the worship.
I think this is probably the skirmish.
Well, that was 2 damage, so it had to have been the worship.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a no, I don't know. Okay. Anyways, we'll go ahead and move on. So now, Michael's turn. So, Yami is up to 5 HP. Oh, you know what it was? Kurito's going to save us both. Yami's marked.
Okay.
Miyuki.
Ah,
that attack does not get to flip.
Yep. There
so
you go.
that attack did basically 0 damage. Whoop. Looks like we all forgot about that. Thank you, Kurito. We appreciate you. So again, Miyuki, MVP of this game. Miyuki has done so much to hamper Clinton's plans in this game.
Yeah.
So Michael is up now, and again, if Michael has that caged soul, then he's pretty much home free. Because as soon as Clinton tries to target somebody, just place the soul on them.
I think we'll see if he has it, then he goes with Miyuki now. Because you can't, because it's not a reactive card if I remember correctly.
Oh, it is. Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, it is reactive.
Oh, yeah, caged soul is a reaction.
Oh, wow.
Which means Miyuki does not care when something happens.
And I'm just double checking Michael's discard pile here.
Yeah.
And Cage Soul is in the discard pile, so he does not have it.
Oh, no. That's so unfortunate. Okay. That would have been such a cool play.
Yep. I just saw Clinton looking through the discard pile. Maybe he's also thinking the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Because I think in this case, so I misspoke earlier whenever I said this was over in turn 2, but I think this is definitely over in turn 3. I realize I can just keep saying that it's definitely over as we progress up the rounds until eventually I'm right. But with the board state here, I don't really see how this would go on to round 4 unless everyone just decided to pass their turns. All right, so what's going to happen here? Who is activating?
He is activating Yami.
Interesting. Okay. I thought he might try and kill Yami with a Hokusai explosion.
Okay, looks like he's attacking.
Okay. Oh, going for the clear mind.
Playing a clear mind.
Nice. Okay. So this will do 3
Buff
plus
that
the flip.
up.
This could potentially kill Yami now. This is a 3 plus flip. So if we flip a +3, that is dead Yami. Oof, +2 though. So she's down to 1. So you can still kill her with a worship. So potentially, if you kill Yami with a worship and then you use a move action after she's dead to move up, hit the minion on the control token, and then just back up to where red Yami is, then in that situation, you just further increase the... Michael, you already attacked. What are you doing, sir? Oh, misfire click. Okay, not a problem. Let's see. Hokusai is not within range to do anything, although I don't really think Hokusai would have any cards to play that would be effective in this scenario. So, yep, here comes the worship action. Obviously, we can target either Korjoff or Yami. It makes no sense to target Korjoff in this situation, so we're just going to wait to see if perhaps Korjoff has a response to Yami first, or if Yami has a response to Yami, and then... Nope.
It is targeting Yami.
Dead Yami. All right, so that's 2 down for Clinton. Of course, double kill is what matters, and we're not really going to kill anybody here, but that is pretty good.
And I think more importantly are the cards.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
He's Michael's now has a hand of 7 cards.
Mm-hmm. Michael's sitting at 7 cards now. Feels pretty good going in here when you have 3 mana. And as we mentioned, a lot of Michael's cards, similar to Clinton's, are 1 mana costs. We've seen Caged Soul. And so we've also seen Supernova, if I'm not mistaken. And so that means there's a lot of things that Michael can do with his hero's mana this round. So let's see. Final action, I assume, should be... Well, I guess if you do a move, though, then Yami is exposed, and without Caged Soul, that would be kind of unfortunate. So you may just lead here and try to force Korjoff to come and kill Yami.
Yeah, I think so. I think that moving out of that cover hex, just there's no reason to do it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can't move into the dome from Yami's position because of the trio, Three Musketeers lineup that we've got here. Skirmish can't do that for the same reason. So yeah, I think you just lead here, potentially to incentivize Korjov coming out in the open, and then you just run him down with bring Freyhill in, do some triple explosions here.
Nope.
And, oh no, I guess
gonna
if you
move.
kill. Okay, so we are going for that minion kill play. All right, that's fair.
Totally fair.
So okay, so the thing that I realized is Yami would be exhausted, which means Freyhill actually wouldn't get to activate when she comes in, so she won't be able to contribute anything really to this. So I think that Michael realizes this is the best thing to do is minimize the control value that Clinton has.
And he did just go through his deck, so
Baby.
everything is back in the discard pile, or from the discard piles back in the deck.
Okay.
And Yami is done.
All right.
Here comes Korjov. So I think this is going to have to be Clinton's play.
Yeah.
I think this is his shot.
Yep. So first action, I assume, is going to be to the attack and kill Yami. So she's definitely dead. Okay, yeah.
There's a sit through ult.
All right, that's dead Yami. So now, if Clinton has Featherstorm and Miyuki does not have Psychic Shield, that's a problem.
There were all 3 psychic shields were in the discard pile. So I see the worship on to Korjov. I bet here it comes.
Oh no. Now, if Michael has Glacial Rebirth, no, that's not enough because then you skirmish and kill her anyways. Because Korjov gets +1 skirmish when he's shapeshifted. So if Clinton has Featherstorm, I think this is game over. If he does not, I still think it's game over, except in Michael's favor. Drum roll, please. Can Korjov?
I was going to say, I'm not sure why you take that action to worship if you don't have Featherstorm here.
Correct, because that forces you to be... Well, I guess being melee doesn't really matter when you've already burned your attack. And you don't get the fast because that's gifted on activation, and you'll exhaust with this. So yeah, if you don't have Featherstorm, there's no reason to do this.
But I also wonder, if you have Featherstorm, why are you not throwing it on the table as fast as possible?
Yeah, like that is, I think...
There it is.
There we go. Okay, yep.
Featherstorm is played.
That's going to be game.
This is place Korjov anywhere on the battlefield. Then if he is shapeshifted, deal 3 plus a flip and disarm to an adjacent hero.
And I don't think Michael has any way to stop this. Otherwise, he probably would have used Doom through Hokusai if he would have had Doom to stop this play. As soon as the shapeshift came through, that would have been your response, is to Doom. And because it is a place, I don't think anything can matter here. I think Miyuki is unfortunately not long for this world. Although, Korjov hasn't been picked up yet, so Michael...
Yep, Michael's thinking.
Michael does have 7 cards, as you pointed out. Okay, so Glacial Rebirth.
Glacial Rebirth.
That'll give Freyhill, or give Miyuki back 3 hit points. That's not going to be enough to save you, because that brings Miyuki to 4, and it is a 3 flip. And even if it wasn't a 3 flip, Korjov would still be able to skirmish for 1+, and we know that Clinton's deck is not carrying -1s.
I mean, you got to give it a shot. So,
sure.
I mean, I'm with Michael.
Sure.
Played at the very end here.
Absolutely. So, yep, Korjov with the teleport. Miyuki 3+. And it's dead Miyuki. Game over
5
by double
piercing
kill.
damage.
Wow.
Good game.
Good game. That was huge. All right, let's go ahead and talk to the players.
Let's go jump in.
That was awesome.
It was like my only hope, and it was a long shot. Oh my goodness!
Did you draw that off the
No.
Yami kill?
No, I had it. I drew it at the end of last round, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I drew.
Yeah, I killed off Satheru because I knew if he stuck around, if you had Last Judgment, that was it for me.
Yeah.
And I knew what I should have done was, oh, come on, was instead of worshiping uh, well, I don't know that it would have mattered, because what I needed to do was put my heroes so far apart that there was no way you could really reach both of them.
Hmm.
And like, I suppose I could have worshipped on the Silent Ambassador and just ran up here, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Running away
Michael, we
always
were
feels
looking
bad.
through your discard pile, and the fact that you had all 3 of your psychic shields in the discard pile and
Yes.
caged soul, it was
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I
yep.
figured. I figured I saw all psychic shields flipped, and I saw Cage Soul, so it was my only hope. But I still was worried about something.
That's fair.
Yeah.
God, that was a tense match.
That was insane to watch. Like, good game to both of you. That was
Oh my
wild.
goodness, my heart rate's like through the roof right now. I'm totally honest with you.
Clinton, how can I just ask, how did you feel at the turn 1 with the 5 million IQ Yami snipe on the dome there?
Yeah, that got me. I didn't know about that rule. I'll be honest.
with
Like,
the Skytear discharge and the place effect. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't know about the place effect. So
I think what he's talking about is the you flip a 0 and he wins the dome.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that's what I was more referring to.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Probably the thing that got me a little more on tilt was the when I played the Skytear discharge, because I wasted it, right? So it was a waste. But it's happened to me before, and I've lost matches because of it, and it put me behind. I mean,
Yeah.
I should have led with a 1 and tied it at least.
Right.
So, because the game probably would have played out a little different if I would have tied / gotten that outsider, right?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, so when you went after Miyuki, I wasn't sure if that was the place to play Psychic Shield, but you having 1 card in hand and me having 2 cards in hand meant that if you killed her, you drew a couple cards and you would have card advantage over me, and I could not allow that.
So my tough decision there was I had about a 25% chance to flip a 3 and get the double kill that round if I was able to kill Miyuki. Right.
Yep.
That's what took me so long to figure out what to do, because I had to get it perfect, right? I would had to flip a 3, and I had all my shields in there. It was my 3 alts that was left.
See, the thing is, if Miyuki had died there, Freya would have come in, and I had Glacial Rebirth from the beginning of round 2. So as soon as Freya hits the field, she's going to be able to heal all my heroes for 3, which would have been fantastic if Miyuki hadn't been at 1.
Right. Yeah.
So it was extremely close. You had me sweating from end of turn 1.
Clinton, I got to imagine that Miyuki is going to be haunting your dreams for quite some time.
She like going into this, I knew Miyuki was going to come to this this fight, right? She's great. I mean, like, her ability and everything, and with the 2 other Kurumos. If you're going against a flip deck, she's really good.
Yep.
So I wanted to take her out quick and early. So that's why I kind of wanted to kill her first.
Sure.
But then trying to utilize it where I, potentially, instead of using my attacks to attack people, sometimes is attack minions, since I don't get to flip and it'll just kill the minion. I don't know. She's tough. She's really good, and the line of sight thing got me too. I forgot she was within 3 of line of sight.
It's one of those things that it catches everyone, even the people that play her, off guard. Yeah, my hand was not helpful that round. Not terribly helpful, because this is what it consisted of, and I thought about like this could, if this was a cage soul, or if like I had drawn anything off of the kills that I needed.
Oh no!
I thought I was also safe with exhaustion. All your exhaustions were gone.
Yes.
That was the thing that's why I had to kill Yami, was to make sure that you didn't have an exhaustion in hand.
That's fair. That makes sense.
I had to kill her first, and then allow for me to worship and play. I also had time glitch, so I could have fluxed, time glitched, and maybe gotten the dome if something weird would have happened, and then tried to skirmish for the win or something. I did have a time glitch in hand. It would have been a long way around because I would have had to like go here, and then skirmish to here.
Yeah.
And I would have had to have like lucky flips and stuff. But yeah, crazy match, man.
That was a fantastic game. I would 110% play this match again. That was so much fun.
I don't want to. I got the win. I'm good. Like, we'll move on.
Clint's like, get me out of here. I do not want to do that.
No,
Retired
like
champion.
Yeah, seeing Miyuki, I knew that it was going to be a tough road for me. So. Ideally, I would have wanted to go second, but you won the dice roll. Yeah, like I said, it's tough going second when you're a flip deck.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or going,
Yeah,
sorry,
100%.
Going first.
Yeah.
Unless you're going against blue.
Unless you go against well,
That's
see, you say that. I went up against Eric and I went first, and that was a mistake. That was a mistake.
But that's because Eric hates going first, so like making him go first automatically is like a point in your favor in the mental game.
I would 110% like you can presence first turn all day. I don't care. I want those heroes. I want those heroes dead.
Sure.
Nope, I don't want to see presence and I don't want to see tramples.
Amen. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Trample doesn't bother me too much.
Until you lose.
Just because Doom.
It's funny.
Sure.
Based on your comment there, Clinton, because we were talking earlier, and Ian came up with the sage point of you cannot win if you've lost.
Yes, and to be honest, I was telling myself that in my head, on the move where I was thinking about going for the win, and really like pushing it because I could have like worshipped to get a little more damage and some other things, but my fear was if he had a psychic shield, that I wasn't going to be able to pull it off.
Sure.
So I had to be cautious. I didn't want to overextend myself and then lose to the tower destruction.
No,
Right.
I wasn't screaming on the cast, Clinton, but I
Sure.
was definitely shouting loudly that you need to kill a minion here.
Yes.
Please
Yes.
kill one minion.
Yes.
Yeah, if I didn't, he stayed in the dome. It was a perfect 5 to kill my tower.
Correct.
Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's what we did.
Him
Now.
leaving allowed for me to have 2 towers. But...
Yes.
And
The
I think
two
that was
towers
the right
there.
play by Michael to go get
Oh,
the
I
dome
think
for
so
two.
too.
Yeah.
Because he still has pressure on me for the next round. If like I didn't pull off double kill, it was probably over.
Right.
So
Yeah, no. If I had any way to save Miyuki there, you would have like I would have been able to finish off the
Yes.
Nexus.
definitely. So
Wow, that was an intense match.
So congratulations, Clinton.
I'm
You're
set.
headed to the finals.
Yep.
And Michael, you're
Who am I
headed to the
facing?
bronze match. So both of you, good job to both of you.
I get to face Ian. We faced once in Swiss. He wants to have his revenge. We'll see what happens.
So,
I'm looking
spoiler
forward
alerts,
to it.
everyone. You now know the pairing matchup. So, Clinton versus Ian in the finals. Michael versus Eric in the bronze match. Of course, there is still a lot at stake here. Obviously, Clinton and Ian will be playing for the wild card plus bonus shards to advance into the World Championships that will be taking place in December. Michael and Eric will be dueling it out for, I think, 3 Skytear shards is the difference between third and fourth. 6 to 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh!
So you need 18 to qualify. So this, if you haven't qualified yet, this is a good point to pick up some extra shards, gentlemen. So to both of you, and then, well, I guess to you as well, Ian, since you're playing, all 3 of you, and Eric, if you're still listening, good luck to all 4 of you. We will try to endeavor to bring both of your games to the community if we are able to.
Sounds good. Excellent job today, Michael. You did awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
Thank you.
You did really good, Michael. That was really, really
Oh,
well.
I mean, stop it, you guys.
Okay, sure.
Clinton
Moving on.
did
Moving
fantastic
on. All right,
himself.
let's talk about more about Clinton. You're fine then.
Thanks for streaming, guys.
Yep. Thank you very much, everyone, for Michael, Clinton, Ian, and